Uh-oh. Just had a crash.
Good thing it's just me.
Right. That happens.
Morning. Good morning. We can see her.
Ryan, we can see her.
Why don't you go out? Yeah.
What? Because I.
Good. Good morning. Good morning. All right, let me get where you guys can hear it. Hold on.
No, you're good. You're okay on most of ours. Is anyone else having problems seeing Margo on the screen?
I only see the image that says get the best plan for the best price. I don't see Margo except for a picture of her on there.
On the front screen at the end of the table?
And maybe I need to figure out how to see it.
Okay, turn your head of your avatar by clicking the space bar, which will unlock your neck. And if you can even stand up, you don't have to really be seated. Okay. You have to face that front screen. Still not able to see her? The side screens are all just her pictures.
Is her avatar we're talking about? She's in the blue?
Yeah, but on the screen at the end of the table, towards the front of the room, is the screen that we're using for Margo's video.
Okay.
Yeah, you can see me live and in the flesh from Austin, Texas.
Kelly, this is Matthew Stewart. I actually do not see her live on the screen. I saw her when I walked in the meeting, but I only see the flyer on the screen.
Me too.
By the way, that's, I mean,
me as
well. There's the flyer. Okay, so I think she's going out and coming back in.
There, she's back.
Okay, great.
Yep, can see her now.
Yay.
Okay, that's so interesting. Okay. All right. We'll let's get this underway because we've got a limited. So watch your clock there, Margo. We're gonna have you run until 9:15 Pacific. Okay. So we've got 13 minutes.
Okay.
And I want to have an opportunity to ask some questions. And if people have questions, I want you guys to put them in the chat box as well. And so, Kelly, are you ready to roll with the recording?
Just 1 second. Okay. Give me a sec.
Charles, that's some pretty wild hair you got there going, buddy.
Thanks, man. You know, you're at home with COVID, you got to do something.
Yeah, no kidding. All right. Okay. Kelly, you ready?
Yes.
All right, 3, 2, 1, record. Good morning, everybody. We have a special treat today. Margo Wickersham is going to be sharing with us the benefits of our group healthcare plan that we can access through eXp. And then we're going to talk about the stock benefits that are accrued to us, as well as our opportunity to build recurring income through revenue share. So Margo, why don't you take it away and tell us what's available to us through healthcare at eXp?
Great. Well, thank you for having me. Is it echoing or are we pretty good? Sound okay?
I think you're good.
Okay, awesome. You may or may not be aware that Clearwater Benefits is the partner with eXp for providing eXp agent healthcare benefits to agents. It's unparalleled in the industry what eXp offers for agents for healthcare, which goes completely with the eXp model of offering crazy good benefits across the board for joining eXp. So we love being the partner where we can help agents before they actually join eXp. We can be part of your recruiting, part of your attraction strategy. We're seeing that used more and more because it's such a competitive advantage. It's such a difference maker. So we see that eXp is disrupting the real estate industry. And what's happening is together with Clearwater, we are also disrupting healthcare, in particular for self-employed people, because of course there have been limited good options available until recently. So here's what we do. We are a licensed brokerage. We're licensed in all 50 states. We have a team of consultants who are licensed in all 50 states. And that matters to you because maybe you're going to split your time between a couple different states, and that's fine for your plans. Maybe your attraction strategy is going to include people outside your state, and that's fine. In fact, you probably know of some top leaders moving to Puerto Rico part-time, and we can help those as well. As long as you have a US resident, if you're part-time in Puerto Rico, we can help you with a plan. So we're very innovative and very creative, and those are usually not adjectives that go along with the insurance business, but it's one of the reasons we make such a great partnership. Why does that matter to you? Because we offer this team of consultants who are subject matter experts in all things health insurance. Health insurance varies greatly, not only from plan to plan, but from state to state. They change all the time. I don't probably need to tell you that there are all kinds of pitfalls and landmines. 60% of bankruptcies in this country are caused by medical bills. That has surprised exactly no one, 0 people. And then on top of that, 60% of those people had health insurance and they still had to file bankruptcy. So there's lots of pitfalls, lots of places where you can just ooze money and lose control, not only of whatever's going on physically, but also financially. We want to help you avoid that. So our mission, our goal is to help you, the agent, find the best healthcare possible that you need at the lowest possible price. Everybody's unique, so there's no one size fits all. So that takes some creative problem solving and innovative approaches that we are constantly looking for. Our most popular plans include a combination of health insurance for doctor visits, drugs, and diagnostics, so sort of the day-to-day things. And then we pair that with a medical cost sharing plan, which is the part that addresses costs that you incur when you need to go to the hospital, or you have surgery, or you have a critical illness like cancer you need treatment for. There's lots of benefits to structuring a plan like this. I'm personally on one of our most popular plans, and a little bit interesting might be that I was before I joined Clearwater. And I recently went through my own experience of having a cancer diagnosis last year during a pandemic. Not the most fun, I can tell you that right now. But this plan literally saved my life. And the reason it saved my life is because the Clearwater plans include not only what I just told you about preventatives and also medical cost sharing, but they also include a service that is called Second Opinion. And you get a medical board certified specialist in the field you need, who is going to weigh in on your diagnosis and your recommended treatment plan. Well, here's what I didn't know till I went through it. 70% of cancer diagnoses are wrong, 70. They're either wrong or the prognosis, the recommended treatment plan is wrong. So if you take nothing else away from today, then always get a second opinion. Please take that with you. It costs you nothing when you're on a Clearwater plan, and it literally saved my life. And here's how. I'm in Austin, Texas, about 1 million people here. It's a pretty good sized city. The doctor I went to was highly regarded, respected in the community, but he's not the top cancer guy for the kind of cancer I had. I didn't know the 70% until I went through it myself, asked my own oncologist, is what they said. And what happened was when my files all went to MD Anderson, before they met me, they were looking at the same exact slides, the same pathology reports, the same MRIs, everything as my Austin doctors were looking at, but they found something the Austin doctors and the Austin pathologist missed. There was a very rare, 100% fatal, 100% recurring, almost never shows up kind of secondary form of cancer. I didn't know you could have two kinds in one place, but apparently you can. They saw it, and had we not done treatment with a whole radical approach, which was chemo and organ removal and major surgery and all that, I wouldn't be here talking to you today. I'm not done yet, so I'm really glad to be here. It can really make that much of a difference to be able to go to the best doctors and weigh in and get that second opinion. So I'd like to share that with you because it cannot be more compelling than life-saving stories like this one. We have lots of stories of people not only saving money on their monthly amount that they spend every month. I'm personally saving about $7,000 a year. We have stories of leaders, I could name names, but I won't, saving $24,000 a year. It's a really great option for a lot of people. And because we're all a little unique, it's important that we also have other options, and we do. So we've got major medical available to you, as well as, well, thank you so much, you guys. Full-time Puerto Rico. Oh, no, you got to have a US address, not my rule. Those are laws. I'm so sorry. I really want to be able to help you with that, but US only, so sorry. So we do have lots of options. It's for the US only. We can talk with you. I'm going to drop a link in the chat real quick, and let's see if that goes through. That should be to book a call and talk with a consultant. And here's what happens. The second, if you have a US home as well as Puerto Rico, I think you should book a call and let's see what we can do for you. The worst that happens is we have a chat with you and now you know you can or you can't pursue that. So, and then another question from Jake. No, I'd love to help in Canada, but again, laws can't do anything about that. So just the US. And I really do encourage you to book that call, because it'll take you a few minutes to find out if there's something we can do to improve your life with health insurance and savings and better care. And if there's not, if you're already on the best plan, our consultants will tell you. They will say, no, you know what, you should stay right there. Let us know if things change. They are really, really good at providing great solutions, and we're service-led, not sales-led. So we'll tell you about 5% of the time we tell people to stay where they are. Let's see, Russell's saying $14,000 a year. Wow, that is amazing. I'm going to write your name down and reach out to you, Russell. That's great. I had another gal talk in a meeting I was in just a few minutes ago. She said her son had a broken wrist, and it cost $66,000, but they only paid $25,000. And what's cool about that is that the wrist was broken in the fall, and then the complications and second surgery happened here just recently in March, and they didn't pay another deductible because that's how medical cost sharing works. It's tied to the need and getting healthy from the need. I've said a lot. There's probably going to be questions. There's so much that I can share with you. I wanted to start with a couple of stories to help you understand how big it is. And then now we've got Russell sharing his story. And alternative care is a question. It can be for the whole family. We have ways of, it depends on what your needs are. Sometimes we put one family member on a plan and the rest of the family on a different one. Sometimes that's the best way to go. So we're very creative. Alternative care is a great question. Briefly, the answer is it is possible. It depends on multiple factors. One of them is if it's a recommendation as part of treatment for a new diagnosis, then yes. And if you like to use alternative care ongoing, then that's a more complicated answer that I think would be worth a quick call with the consultants. All right, 11:13. How did I do, Don?
Did awesome. And I'll let you address the long-term care question as well, and then we'll wrap up and move on to the stock. But is there something that can be arranged for long-term care?
We do not currently have long-term care, but rest assured we are looking into it. What we do have that I haven't mentioned is we have life insurance, and we do have also coming up soon disability, which is almost unheard of for self-employed people. But long-term care, not yet.
Okay, great. Well, sounds like a fantastic program. As I mentioned to you in our preparatory call, my family is also utilizing the Clearwater plan, and it's been a savings for us as well. So really pleased that this is yet one more reason to align yourself with eXp, and it's great that we've got a resource. Margo, thank you for sharing. And you know what would be wonderful, as I'm going to chat about the stock benefits and so forth, if you wouldn't mind sticking around, and maybe you can just respond in chat if folks have any other questions they want to put in there. That would be amazing.
Sure. So what I'll do is go ahead and mute my mic. I'll hang out here and I'll answer chats very quietly, and happy to help in any way that I can. You can find me on Workplace if you have answers. I've got an eXp Realty email. So
awesome. And then
thanks so much.
You bet. Thank you. And if you'll come on down from the screen, I'll pop up and I'll wrap up our meeting. All right. Well, that was great, Margo. Thank you. So you guys, one of the things that we often talk about in real estate is that we're an industry of folks with a wide range of incomes, but it is possible to earn a great income in real estate for sure. And we have many agents that do, but it is so uncommon for us to be able to retire from our business with dignity and be able to take care of our families in the fashion that we have become accustomed to. And one of the reasons, and it was Frank Crandall's suggestion, which I appreciated, that we bring in Margo and talk about her health benefits, is because, you know, and I'm realizing this in my own family, as we get older, health is numero uno. If that fails, man, it just shakes the whole apparatus. And so it's important that we take care of ourselves, both from a health perspective as well as a wealth perspective. And that's really what I want to address next. And so everybody knows that we are a publicly traded company. We trade under the NASDAQ symbol EXPI. But you may not know about all the different ways that we earn stock. You know, when we close our first transaction, we get $200 in stock. When we cap, we get $400. When you attract an agent, you get another $400. And each time you close a transaction, you have the opportunity to purchase the stock at a 10% discount with 5% of your commission. And then, you know, like Tom Davis and I were talking this morning, and we're just talking about how we're going to target our recruitment going forward. And we're just talking about, if somebody is an icon level producer, it's just almost financial malpractice for them to not be at eXp, right? Because you're getting, you're not just getting, by the way, your entire cap bag of stock. Because of the 2 and the 400 on your first transaction, and when you cap, you actually can get 16,600 in stock. And that doesn't count the discount on the stock that you've purchased. So if you're an icon level producer, you also are going to be able to purchase, you know, based off, you know, icon level producers typically produce about 250,000 a year, right? And so it's huge benefit, and where people are literally acquiring that and being able to broker their transactions through us for, you know, a few $1,000s in transaction fees is what the net comes down to, right? And that icon award, of course, is 16,000. Be sure when you're articulating that value piece of the value proposition that you help them to understand that it is up to. They get 8,000 immediately, and then there are qualifiers for the other. One is attending eXp Con. The other is our stockholders event, and then the final one is establishing yourself as a mentor within the eXp organization. So, you know, I know for Tom and me, we haven't even been here 3 years, and we've amassed well over $1 million in stock, which just is incredible to me. And it's been fantastic for both of our families, and I know a lot of you have had great benefit from it as well. So yeah, and by the way, yeah, Matthew's saying the stock hit 40, so it had taken quite a hit. We'd gone down to the split adjusted price. The split adjusted price was 50, by the way. When it was at 25, we were actually the equivalent of 50. Now it's actually back up to over 40, and so that would be relative. Like when Tom and I joined, the stock was trading around $8, and that's equivalent of $80 today. So not only, by the way, all of those benefits that we're talking about, the stock has actually gone up 10x in the last 3 years as well. And, you know, one of the stories that I share with people about the stock is that, you know, and just to be clear, also, the stock that you purchase, you could resell at a profit the next month. The stock that you earn as a benefit of the efforts that you make, whether it be production or recruitment, you accrue that, and then you vest into that over 3 years. Well, the people that acquired that stock in 2016 through their Icon Award, they acquired that stock at the equivalent of $1 a share, okay? So you guys can do the math on that, but they got 16,000 shares that are now valued at $80 a piece. That's $1.28 million, right? So those Icon Award winners from 2016, if they haven't sold their stock, they're all millionaires from the stock, which is amazing, right? So yet another benefit. And what's cool about it is the stock that we're awarded, we are actually vesting into it. So it's sort of like this forced savings. And so, you know, I'm sure a good percentage of those Icon Award winners from 2016 still have that $1 million in stock. So pretty exciting. And then the final thing I wanted to cover is this benefit that eXp gives us, which is to share in revenue. And, you know, a common conversation, because I'm calling a lot of independent brokers that I have now on my target list, is that an independent broker revenue shares on their agents, right? So they may have an 80-20 split with their agent. The agent gets 80, they get 20, right? And what they perceive we are operating here is some MLM, okay? What in actuality we're operating here is a model which is 80% to the agent, 10% to eXp corporate, which is also we're all vested in, and then 10% to us that are growing the organization, right? And so in effect, what happens when an independent broker joins us is they go from exclusively revenue sharing on their agents to enabling their agents to revenue share as well, and to have precisely the same opportunity that they have, except they and their agents do not have the broker liability and capital risk normally associated with having a brokerage, right? And that's how I feel. You know, I built 10 brokerages from the ground up successfully, but I had each and every one of those, I had to put forth a tremendous amount of capital risk. Capital, actually, I had to come up with $250,000 for each of those franchises, and then sign a lease, which exposed me and my partners to material risk. And then, of course, there's broker liability. We don't have any of that, right? And yet we get in, and I'll say one other thing in regards to these conversations that you guys may be having with independent brokers, is that it scales. Okay. If an independent broker owner is a producer, what I can tell you is that 99% of the time, they will not get beyond 40 agents because they're producing. They're typically the top producer in the office. They're managing and they're recruiting. And they tend to do them in that order. So when they get to 40 agents, they reach a ceiling of complexity that cannot pass through. The ones that do end up going out, hiring a manager or recruiter, which then usually takes them out of profitability, and then they can scale up to about 100. Well, that very same 40 agent foundation that they have blood, sweat, and tears in establishing, that could lay a foundation in eXp on our platform for a 1,000-person organization. And so what happens is when you are building your eXp organization, when you get to at least 20, probability is that you will have a business builder in that. 3 years from that day, you should have an organization of 500. Tom and I are reaching 500 with a start of 0. Okay, but I'm telling you that what we have seen through scores of organizations is once they get that front line of 20, that organically, this is without acquisition, that organically will grow out to 500. Well, 40, it's a 25x multiple. So 40 is a foundation for 1,000 in that same 3-year period of time. And so, because they probably have 2 business builders within that 40 rank. And so 40 is a foundation to 1,000, which is going to lead to a 7-figure recurring income. And that, I assure you, is not what they're enjoying as an independent broker of less than 40 agents. In fact, I would argue they don't even have a business, they own a job. So anyway, tremendous opportunity in all 3 respects. eXp has now afforded us a way to have affordable health care. They allow us to be owners of the company with no broker liability or capital risk, and also build a recurring income so that we can all one day either retire or, I don't know if agents ever retire exactly, but at least have the option of being very selective about the clients with whom you'll work. And that makes for a pretty nice life. All right, Tom, why don't you come on up, tell us about our upcoming events, and we'll rock and roll.
All right. Well, thanks, Don. Thank you so much. And thank you, Margo. So I would just like to tell a real quick story. And I'm just being open and honest and vulnerable here. So I started in real estate in 1977. Probably most of you probably weren't even born then. But I mean, if you do the math real quick, that's 44 years, okay? I'm 66. I just tell people I've been in the business over 35 years. I kind of stick with that, but it's been 44 years. So 42 of those years, I was with different companies that did not give me the ability to retire with dignity. And so with this company, with Don and myself, I'm now in a position to scale up, level up with residual income, stock, and it's just it just changed my life. I'm getting a little emotional. You can't really see me getting emotional here with my avatar, but anyway, so it changes lives. It just changes lives. It changed my life. So it's amazing. We have such a great opportunity here. Let's, embrace it, take advantage of it, change our lives, change other people's lives, and rock and roll. Okay, so tomorrow on Thursday, we have Agent Attraction Mastery with Randy Bird by invite only from either Randy, Don, or myself. That's at 9 a.m. Pacific, 10 Mountain. And then we have on Friday, we have top coach, trainer, a speaker, author, Eric Lofholm. He's going to share on our Freedom Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific, 10 Mountain. He's going to share mindset and prospecting. Okay. So that's 9 o'clock. You can just check Atomic Habits, check my Facebook page, Atomic Habits. So anyway, It's Friday, Freedom Friday, 9 a.m. Pacific. So that's it. Thanks, Don. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Tom, and thank you, Margo. Appreciate you guys. And I do feel like we're in such a unique situation now to make a difference for people. You know, it is, when can you put somebody on a path that will actually be able to have them retire from this business with dignity? And that's really what we have without exposing them to any undue risk. So pretty cool, really grateful for the opportunity, grateful to be in business with all of you. And so let's do it. Let's rock on. See you guys, and have a great week. Thank you.
Thank you, Don.
All right,
Thank you,
everybody.
Tom.
Thanks,
Appreciate
John.
you.
Good job.
Thank you,
Beast
everyone.
mode. Beast mode.
Okay, I'm gonna stop recording.